Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
My report's pretty simple, mainly because what I was really excited about this week was chasing sockeye, and well, they closed it. I laughed just because it is kind of interesting. Lots of comments, questions about that. They're trying to protect the sockeye. They're going back to the Snake River system. There's only like 3,500 or 4,000 of them that they're concerned with. So that definitely took something off the table. You still have options out there if you wish to fish, the Columbia, the Willamette, some of the other options that you have up and down the coast as well. So a bit frustrating, but hopefully things will change and we can get back out there, maybe chase some fish again. But there's certainly some options that are out there. We'll talk a little bit more about that, something close to home. But it goes without saying, maybe it doesn't. Lots of great opportunities. The one thing that really kind of got me interested or excited was chasing some trout this week, going up to the mountain, taking the daughter up there, or even kokanee fishing has been very, very good. For those folks that have been trying to get info from the central part of the state, I'm working on that. Hopefully we can get that going here in just a little bit. Let's take a look at the fish counts at the very least. Again, not all that exciting right now. The Willamette, though, has been progressively getting up now. It's only at 16.2. There's a handful of days they have yet to count. The numbers of steelhead going over the falls, again, I've said this before, we've been beaten into submission thinking that these little tiny numbers are good. In the end, they're really not. But they're significantly better for steelhead than what it's been in the past, so it's nice to see that. Hopefully, in the next year or two, we can start seeing things come back into some sort of reality, but we'll find out how that goes going forward. Take a look at Bonneville real quick. This is kind of frustrating just because you can see these numbers are, and some of them pretty darn large, but very limited opportunities out there. 1,300 Chinook are going over a day. I'm not sure exactly how that works out to hit 13, 18, 2 days in a row. Interesting. But if you were to take a look at shad, still great numbers of shad going over Bonneville. So if you're still wanting to make that bait fertilizer, canning, if you into that, plenty of shad opportunities up there, especially if you're going to go up around the shad rack, understanding, of course, how to do it and proper gear, and because it is definitely not a friendly place to make a mistake. Sockeye, though, 31,009 went over yesterday, so still very, very strong numbers. 450 grand over Bonneville right now, and unless you're up by 395 or above it, you can't have any. No chasing fish of those amounts of numbers. That would just make too much sense. Let's not do that. River levels, we're just going to talk about the Columbia and the Willamette. All the tributaries are very, very low. You're going to see, of course, just like in that video that we just showed you, summer steelhead are pretty much good. This is a good year for those. I mean, again, in the end, there's been better over in the past, but as opportunity-wise, there's plenty of summer steelhead around in the tributaries if you can get to them, right? Either it be bank fishing or floating. A lot of folks are out there enjoying that right now. Willamette River, though, of course, tides are very, very tall. Pay attention to those. That'll be a question that I ask Terry here in just a little bit when we're talking about that lower Willamette with tides that are in the 3 and 4 foot exchange range. Not sure why that looks like that, but at the very least, turbidity is not an issue, other than the fact that I'd like to see it a little bit more off color. Taking a look at the Columbia, same thing. I already miss it. I just put my prop on for a reason. We'll get there at some point. But then, of course, he's going to show you the turbidity there as well, and it's not an issue. Still very, very clear out there. So, again, in the end, there are very good opportunities. You just got to be willing to go out there and try to make it happen, right? It's called fishing. You can't catch them when you're at home. It's just that simple. Procure, don't forget, send an email to Jason over at Procure. That's my good friend, Jason Hambley, who is probably catching something this morning somewhere like he always does. But send Jason at Procure an email, and you'll be entered in to win that weekly prize pack from Procure. And big thanks to them for doing that each week for all of our viewers that are out there. But one of the things, it being the end of July, we love nice weather. Hopefully it's not going to get too hot. Hopefully we got some rain in the forecast, but we'll find out here in a second from Katie Suniga. Katie, how are you?
I'm doing well. What's too hot for you?
Anything that starts with a 9.
Okay, so yeah, it's going to get too hot for you.
Okay.
We have like the tiniest chance for some showers later tonight into tomorrow. It's really not looking like much, but we want you to know that that possibility is there. Most models are saying a few hundredths of an inch, and that's it. There's been some cloud cover that's increased for us this morning, and you'll see here on that model forecast that we do anticipate there to be some clouds and then a few little light chances going overnight tonight, and then a few more chances early tomorrow morning before things clear out. And then we stay with the mostly clear skies, clouds in the morning, sunnier in the afternoon and evening, all the way through until we get to Thursday. Then the big change happens. This is what I'm talking about. This particular model just shows 100th of an inch tomorrow morning. And I mentioned there are a few others that show up to 200ths of an inch. What we have going on is the shifting in the upper atmosphere, which we always pay attention to. You see this ridge going up and dropping down. This is giving us some northwest onshore flow, which cools us back Monday and Tuesday. And then once we get to Wednesday, and then more importantly into Thursday, Friday, that ridge passes over with that warmer atmosphere. What that means is very small chance for rain, really good chance for those warmer temperatures, at least getting into the low 90s. And when we might hit 94, which would be the warmest we've been so far this season.
Yeah, that's definitely getting warm. It'll be interesting to see. You know, obviously we have 4th of July on Thursday. It's going to get pretty darn warm. Hopefully everybody is responsible out there, right?
Yes, and we're paying attention. We're not saying anything we're worried about just yet, but we are watching for a possible heat wave these days going into the weekend, because it looks like this 90-degree temperature will extend at least into Saturday. So
holy moly, we're not talking about triple digits.
Not yet, but we're watching for it.
Interesting. Katie, as always, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. All right, everyone, we're going to cut to a quick break. I'm trying to save some time, right? We've got a live report from the saltwater. They're actually fishing as we speak. You know us. That's what we're known for. We're going to have Andy Karlovich here in just a couple of minutes. He's the owner of Pacific Offshore Charters. And pay attention. If you like chasing these fish in the saltwater, we'll have a live one for you in just a minute.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.